Hello, my people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depends where you are watching from at this moment of the day. Well, it's all about Imo State government, the workers' payment of salary. A few weeks ago, I think I saw on media when the government of Imo State showed the list of people that we are going to pay up to date, and the subsequent payment will be even coming before the end of the month. The information was immediately you fill that particular form, and submit to the government house that the accountant general have to pay you the next day. You get the alert. So that was what I saw on publication, even on the social media. The governor of the state, they were telling the public that day. But I wanted to be so sure before I say something on that publication. But before I say what I want to say now, please, if this is your first time of watching, kindly hit on the subscription button, that red subscription button, and also you see the bell notification sign. Hit on it. By so doing, whenever we make a new video and upload it, you'll be among the first people to get the notification. Okay, and the same way you patronize my YouTube channel, I pray that God Almighty will still bring those who will patronize your own business, whatever good you do. Keep watching, commenting, liking, and sharing. God bless you. Okay, my people, as I was saying, after watching that news, and that speech on the civil servant salary update, I now put up a call to one of my sisters that work as a civil servant in Imo State. Really, she told me that for 3 months now, they've never received their salaries. Not even 3 months. She said since 3 months she filled that particular form and submitted, they have been calling them every day to come and do the same one thing or the other. Up to now, up to that time I called her, which was 2 weeks ago, that they've never received any alerts. Even as I'm talking to you now, nothing. So, and to cram it up, making it a factual analogy, there is this workers fasting going on now, and we have it this way. Imo workers commence fasting and praying over non-payment of salaries as massive sack looms. But yet it keep going on social media that the state government have paid everybody that have been able to fill that particular form, and they are owing nobody. The subsequent salaries comes as at when due, even before the end of the month. Now let's see. Workers in Imo State Civil Service who are currently being owed various months of salaries have commenced fasting and praying sessions to ask God to touch Governor Hope Uzodimma to pay their salaries. Several ministries and government agencies and parastatals in Imo State are yet to receive more than 3 months of salaries. Most of them received their last salaries in February, while others lament non-payment of January salaries till date. In some agencies, the Hope Uzodimma administration is allegedly planning outright closure, while there are plans to downsize the entire workforce. Oh my goodness. The workers have turned to God as their last resort. God should not be your last resort, but your beginning and their end. And you are all, please. and are organizing fasting and praying session to appeal God for help. Look at this one, will not talk now. When he has a problem with the Hope Uzodinma, he will see him coming to talk couple, but now he is among the people, treating Imo light so bad, more especially the civil servants. He will not talk now because appointment has been given to him. As I was told that he's the majority, the chief whip or whatever. I don't know the position they gave him in the House of Assembly there. Then his mouth has shut. No more couple. APC is the best government now. I'm not saying they are bad, but I think whosoever that talks good and bad on a particular thing, when that thing, even though you are involved, arises, still talk. Why would you be in a government that the civil servants are crying? Some said up to 1 year now they've not received, up to since January now they have not received their salary. And you keep quiet, you're not talking again. You don't go on air anymore. So Uchobago is so disappointing. Okay, we continue. A level 8 civil servant who didn't want her name to be mentioned lamented her woes. I and my husband are both civil servants. It is best to imagine it that to tell you what we are going through. We have 3 children. Sometimes we drink garri for a whole day. We now rely on handouts from family and friends. In Hope Uzodinma, is Hope Uzodinma happy that we are suffering? If you complain, they will suspend you like Vivian Oti. Maybe when Hope starts falling and dying on the streets out of hunger, then Hope Uzodinma will be happy. Maybe when people start falling and dying on the streets out of hunger, then Hope Uzodinma will be happy. We thought we were having it bad under Rochas Okorocha. We thought we were having it bad under Rochas Okorocha. This government is turning out to be the worst in the history of Imo State. It would be recalled that a staff of the Imo Broadcasting Corporation, IBC, Mrs. Vivian Oti, was suspended indefinitely for complaining on social media about the non-payment salaries. Imo teachers and pensioners are also affected as they are yet to be paid by the Hope Uzodinma administration. The government had made claims that the problem with the non-payment of salaries was because of the BVN, but civil servants we interviewed said the government wasn't being truthful. In my parastatal, a civil servant spoke while asking not to mention his name. We have submitted our BVN over and over again. Yes, I'm sure of this. My sister said it. Rocha has screened us. Ihura has screened us. Hope Uzodinma have not screened us yet. He is claiming we didn't submit BVN. Must we be screened every time a new government comes? If he wants to screen us again, why haven't he announced it and conducted it? There is nothing this man is not telling us. There is something this man is not telling us. He is not being truthful. If Imo doesn't have money, let him tell us. Besides, what happened to our allocations? I thought he claimed he was saving 1 or 2 billion and generating more through IGR. Is Governor Hope Uzodinma tagging himself as a liar? That is exactly how we have it now. The civil servants are seriously praying in Imo State. Both the civil servants and the public servants, all the parastatals, they are really praying that God will touch Hope Uzodinma to pay them their salaries. Guys, I want you to tell me what you think about all these things. It didn't end there. We have a man also who really said something um, on this issue. This man is going crazy. He said, "My wife is going crazy. Please pay her salaries." This man cries out, telling Hope Uzodinma to please pay the salary of her wife, that the wife is going crazy. A man have taken to Facebook to call out the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, over the non-payment of his wife's salary. The man, Mr. Kanayo Ibe, made the post on his Facebook handle, urged Governor Hope Uzodinma to come to his rescue and pay his wife's 3 months salaries. So that is the woman. He didn't stop there. He continued, "She's no longer taken currently." Ibe lamented, she always talking of herself nowadays, mentioning the governor's name every time and lamenting over her salaries. "I am afraid that she might be losing it. Governor Hope Uzodinma should please pay my wife her salaries. If he wants to sack workers, let him tell us, rather than keep them without pay for months. Is this not wickedness? Workers and civil servants in Imo State have been owed for over 4 months by the Hope Uzodinma administration. An IBC staff, Mrs. Vivian Oti, who dared to complain, was slammed with indefinite suspension. Governor Hope Uzodinma seems to be using a high-handed measure to force Imo workers to suffer in silence. Rochas wasn't this bad. Mr. Ibe wrote further, "People could talk freely without fear of lack of suspension. Now, if you talk, they suspend you and threaten you with sack. Criticize the governor and you are arrested like Ambrose Nwogu. What kind of government is this? What can you expect from a governor we never voted for?" Governor Hope Uzodinma claimed that the failure of the civil servants to submit their BVN was the reason why they were not being paid. The claim have been rubbished by Imolites who allege that if Hope Uzodinma was sincere, it would not take him 4 months to do a verification. Rochas Okorocha did verification of workers. Barrister Obidike Nwagu stated, "As much as I am not his fan, but he was still paying workers even while verification was going on. Emeka Ihereoha did verification and was paying while the process was going on. Hope Uzodinma has no sensible excuse for unleashing this wickedness on the people of Imo State. Pensioners and teachers are also affected, as they have not received anything since the past 4 months." Okay, this I read out some of the lamentations of people of Imo State. So complaining on non-payment of salaries to the civil servants, both the pension for the pensioners and also the public servants and other state parastatals. They're all complaining that for 4 months now they've not received any salary. But I begin to ask myself, that means since he came to power, he've not been able to pay, because for 4 months, if they have not been able to pay salaries, that means he's still on verifying or whether those civil servants are really civil servants or not, whether they are ghosts. But people have been paying these people, even though you're on verification, like they rightly said on what I read up now, you have to still keep paying them and doing your verification. You know, it doesn't stop people. How will people be working and they will not be paying? This is incredible. What kind of hearts do our government even have? In United States of America, and I know it's the same way other places, they pay every 2 weeks. Some pay weekly. Even though sometimes, in fact, nobody owe you above that particular date, payday. They call it payday. On that payday, if payday is 7th, the first payday is on 7th. They either pay you on 6th or on 7th. If you are being paid on direct deposit, they schedule it on 15th for you to receive your money. They schedule it 2 days before the payday, so that on that payday, either you get your money before the payday or on that payday. Nobody owes you nothing. And this salary we are talking about, Imolites, they are owing in Imo State. The monthly salary is just like a day salary of people in other countries like America. Some people, they are even owing for these 3 months. Their salary in a month is $100 in Nigeria, which is about 39 to 40,000. Some of them is $200, which is one person's, a day salary in some areas like America, Canada, and they still pay on the due date. Why our government, not only Imo State, so many of them also, why are they wicked to people that are making that money for them, which they are looting and sharing to their relatives and friends? So I joined with Imolite in prayer that God will touch the present government, the governor, to pay the civil servants if he had not paid them. I know he had not paid them because my sister is involved. I called her, she said they've not received nothing. So I'm confidently saying he has not paid them, but I pray that God will touch him to really pay them. And let all these guys that come on social media to defend all these things stop doing this. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's say what is bad, because tomorrow it will be our own turn. If any other government comes tomorrow and do the same thing, I will still criticize them. I'm non-partisan. I don't belong to any party and will not belong, so that I can be biased, I can be fair on what I'm saying. I can be, fair on what I'm saying. Please, my people, I want you to say something on this. Tell me what you think about this and what you think is solution. We'll meet in another video.
I'm aware that you have not been able to receive your salary for 2-3 months. Listen, you have not received your salary not because there is no money. There is money to pay you people your salaries. Imo State has migrated from an analog system of payment of salaries to an automated system. Before I left my office this morning, I printed the list of all staffs. And when I interrogated the system, the reason why you have not received your salary is because of this list. Your names were submitted with the salary, what we call gross. Your salary, your work, your data, salary scale, health and commerce are not stated. You also omitted relevant data where you computed your allowances. You did not indicate which type of allowances. So what the computer printed out is that this data, the submitted data, does not contain the appropriate salary scale, CONHES, CONMES, and it equally omitted the grade level and scale of each staff with operative allowances schedule. It crucially omitted the relevant pay AYE component of the submitted gross pay. So the enterprise payroll system cannot automatically compute the relevant sections of this pay slip without this data. They have written to you people severally to submit this data, but your management wants us to send money so that they can pay the usual way they have been paying. So I want them to submit this data. If you submit this data today, you will receive your money tomorrow. I have not come to Imo State. There is a reason. There is a reason why I am the governor. Why I am the governor is to do things differently. No amount of protest, no amount of strike action will make me do things as usual. So if you want to be my friend, do what I want, and that is doing things right, and I will do what you want. If you submit this data, you don't need to talk to anybody. Before the end of every month, you receive your salary payment in your account. I have here the names of every civil servant in Imo State. No, all those who have submitted complete data that has been paid, their names are here. So if you tell me you've not received your salary, I'll check. This is the first time Imo State government is on credit in our banks. So we cannot say salary. We will pay salary like other states. You don't need to beg anybody to pay your salary. In fact, payment of salary is not an achievement for any government, because it's your right. So a government that knows what they are doing must make sure that before even they talk to workers, it is assumed that they have received their salaries. So payment of salary for me is not an achievement, but I want to remove that cabal that have been using salary program to receive monies. So tomorrow, let the management, I will hand this over to CMD. So he will check and find out who is in charge of this data. And if data gets to my office today, by Monday, you will all be doing your Thanksgiving. So,